Now we're going to go over resizing columns. We are going to go to the lunch count tab. So I'm going to show you how to widen columns. And I'm going to show you the manual way and then the auto way. For resizing columns, up here at the top, you see the letters for each column. The line in between is where you need to put your cursor. And when you put your cursor right, you'll see an arrow. Your cursor has to change to let you know that you're in the right place. Okay, so I'm going to go to my spreadsheet and I'm going to go to the lunch count tab. And when I put my cursor in between the B and C, and now I can click and I can drag left and right. I'm going to show you the shortcut. Once I have my cursor in the right place, if I double click, it will auto resize to the widest cell in that column. So that's really nice when you are dealing with a lot of students' names and you don't have time to figure out whose is the longest, right? You can just double click. Now, I can also select multiple columns and then double click in between any of them, and all of them will auto resize all at once. It's such a gift. Okay. So what I want you to do now is jump to your lunch count, and I want you to go ahead and play around with resizing those columns so that you can see everything on them. And then we're going to talk about resizing rows. So do that first step and then come back here. All right. For rows, sometimes you need to make a row bigger by clicking and dragging. Okay. If this cell right here for E, if I make that longer, notice it didn't make any difference because I have to come back up here. Remember, we did text wrapping, and I'm going to select that middle, and now it resizes. But notice it did not resize all the way. I can't see the whole thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here to in between 11 and 12, and it's always the bottom of the row that you want to touch. And I'm going to double click there, and it will auto resize to the height that is needed. Okay. So what I want you to do now is I want you to go to lunch count, and I want you to, you already played around with columns. Now I want you to play around with rows. Okay. So you can double click, you can make one deep, you can make it shallow, whichever you need. And then make sure that you go ahead and click inside cell E11, and you're going to use that text wrapping. Make sure you choose the middle one, and then you can double click to resize that row. And once you've done that, come on back here, and we're going to work on simple formulas, which is going to be wrapping up this session.